Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So courtesy to Rockypanther, we do have rank 4 6-star Killmonger showcase, and we do have like a full playlist. There's going to be quite a lot of gameplay, and this first fight is Realm of Legends Winter Soldier with just the Killmonger, without any synergies, without any boosts, and then we're going to do the same fight again with synergies. So it's going to be interesting to see the difference. Obviously here punishing the special attack enables you to access True Strike. Now he triggered Reverberation, and once both of those are triggered, you do get fairly substantial damage increase. That's actually one of the things that a lot of people don't understand about Killmonger. His damage is much better than you think it is, if you know what you're doing. And the key is to have the True Strike and Reverb active at the same time. And if you do, then you will be hitting substantially harder than if you don't. And also high SIG level definitely benefits to that fairly significantly. Now, that being said, obviously Killmonger is not necessarily the biggest damage dealer in kind of generic, regular circumstances, up until the point where you can detonate those 50 bleeds, though. Those 50 bleeds do help, and there is synergy that can enable you to do that twice. Obviously, that gives you much more flexibility in what kind of fights the champion is capable of doing. And here we are at like 73 hits. The Winter Soldier is still at 36%, and that is a fairly good kind of representation there of how much damage you do. You can see that you crit for like 5k, 3k plus if you do not have Reverb active, but immediately it goes to all the way up to 9k, so you close to double the damage output when you have the True Strike and Reverb, both of them active. So once again, and ideally, you do want to time all of that stuff to be active when you have a special attack to throw. So you want to throw your special attacks when you have True Strike and Reverb active, and then those special attacks obviously are going to finish fights very, very quickly. Right, let's move on to the next one. And this is going to be with synergies. Wait, actually didn't... Let's quickly double check how many hits it was. 107 hits. Not stellar. Not stellar. Not too bad either though. But let's check out the synergized version of Killmonger and what we can do now. So how much quicker is it going to be? And it ought to be quite significantly quicker, obviously, because you can trigger that reverb, well, just like you did before, but the bleeds do more damage, they trigger more frequently, and you're just going to be capable of putting in much, much more work. Now, initially, he didn't get the True Strike, punishing that first special attack, and now he just needs to trigger reverb, as he's well aware of, and at this point, he can go in for a level 2. Perfect. And that level 2 is, again, dealing nice 38k crit. Gets in the intercept. That didn't count as an intercept. Fair enough. Fair enough. So he punishes the level 1. And again, he does get more power, thanks to one of the synergies as well. So he's able to get his level 2 significantly quicker. Not to mention, he triggers bleeds a lot more faster. So here is going to be the game plan for the rest of this fight. He just needs to wait till he can re-trigger the reverb. He has 26 bleeds there, locked and loaded. He needs to take one hit on the block here at this point. And now when he throws the level 3, he does have that major attack bonus active. And we can see that Winter Soldier is sticking down for like 13k something with 27 bleeds. And obviously that's going to be pretty much all she wrote. And the fight is over. The fight's over, in this case in 64 hits. So there is a very noticeable damage difference. Now we have a Star-Lord fight. So let's see how he gets along with Star-Lord in this fight. And here, I believe he had the synergy where he can do the double level 3. I hope he does have the synergy active, because that obviously significantly helps you. This obviously is going to be a lengthier clip. So we're not going to see anything too special, too spicy initially here. But here, wait. Oh, he went for level 3, but he didn't trigger those mega bleeds yet. He probably just got pushed there. So let's see, he has 20 bleeds active, 22, 35, 45. He has 50 bleeds. At this point, he should... 52. Oh, right. You can get above 50 there, but obviously it's only up to 50 bleeds that can trigger. So let's check out the damage here. So we're going to go from 72% at the beginning of level 3. And those bleeds are ticking for 47k there. I don't think the deep wounds are active, by the way. Deep wounds would have increased the damage even higher. However, if he has the right synergy active, he should be able to do this same thing one more time. Let's see if that, yeah. Here he's the next level 3, special 3, and here again it is taking for like 47k. So that's a very nice amount of bleed damage, and with 2 level 3s he basically got him down from 72 damage to 72%, 30%, which is enough to nuke down virtually all of the 1.5 million opponents. And obviously now he will have to do the finish in a regular good old-fashioned way, so that's going to be just blitzing it down. On the bright side though, when you're using Killmonger, obviously you do have fairly significant damage mitigation through those indestructible charges, and True Strike actually does prevent Labyrinth of Legends evade, and you know, that is obviously extremely helpful. Here he just sneaks in the second timer as last few percent. How many hits is this going to be? Last few moments of the fight. But yeah, for a champion that's not necessarily known for his amazing damage output, still a very, very, very solid solo, and very obviously amazing bleed damage. I do think that deep wounds were not involved though, so it did take 431 hits and 7 minutes and 18 seconds. Rank 4 Killmonger versus 7.33 SpiderHam. Let's check out what is going to be happening here then. Obviously, Killmonger is one of the best SpiderHam counters as well, because you just need to punish at level 1 to activate a passive True Strike. That's completely shutting down their evades. And then on top of all of everything else, whenever you do get debuffs placed on you, you gain power, and then you can just get to level 3, wait out those debuffs, and drop a level 3, you know, just to nuke down SpiderHam. And that is probably going to be the game play there. But again, mainly thanks to the True Strike, you don't need to worry about SpiderHam's evade no matter how many charges he has. And willpower healing is obviously there as well, thanks to all of the debuffs, so that offsets Liquid Courage Double Edge. And at the moment, he needs to line it up quite perfectly though as well, because he needs to make sure that the bleed immunity is not active. He also ideally wants to have his reverb on and True Strike on. But before he can do that, he needs to get enough bleeds on the SpiderHam to begin with. Right, so as the fight, as we can see, is going very stable. Is at 100%, SpiderHam is 72%. And unfortunately, he does get clipped there. Not the end of the world though, because as I mentioned, the Liquid Courage Double Edge definitely are going to help in this fight, regardless of everything else. And he just needs to keep on chopping down that SpiderHam. So if we forward it a bit, here we are. Will we get that big level 3 by the end of it? Oh, we might not. But either way, definitely a great way to showcase the utility of Killmonger. One of the best things about Killmonger as well is the fact that he's extremely sturdy. He has built-in crit resistance. He has large amounts of armor, and he's one of those champions that's just hard to kill, and it's normally not end of the world when you do mess up, which also makes him a very solid option for a lot of alliance war fights. So here is the last 12% of that SpiderHam. This was a fairly lengthy option for the SpiderHam fight, but nonetheless definitely a very, very viable one. Evading all of those evades are failing there, which is wonderful. Here he obviously does have reverb on, did not have True Strike on, so the damage is not the greatest, but you know, class advantage does help, and then he's gonna finish it with a level 3 at the very, very end. But that's fine. Now we have against Modok as well, so we have the rank 4 against 721 Modok. And again, True Strike obviously does bypass auto block. So Modok is a relatively recently popular boss that we have seen for several seasons. And Killmonger has always been one of the best options for Modok bosses in Alliance Wars as well. You know, we have definitely seen it in several channels showcased because of the sturdiness, because of the easy openings that you can get just by spamming your level 1s, and obviously pretty much the permanent True Strike that you have active as soon as you punish that first special attack, You can see that all of those attempts at auto block are immediately failing. So he's there going for a level 2, gets his 3 indestructible charges on. And now it's kind of up to him how he wants to play. Like typically in Alliance War setting, most people end up spamming level 1s. And with those level 1s, they gain the unstoppable charges. And that is like by far the easiest way to find openings, because you can let the boss hit on your block one time, punish them immediately, and with that obviously also trigger the reverberation and gain increase in damage, and just find very safe, reliable openings when opponents are stun immune. Another kind of underrated aspect of Killmonger is the fact that he is very, very good champion to go up against stun immune opponents specifically. Here we can see that Modok has already 24 bleeds has had 24 bleeds inflicted upon him. So at this point, he can safely go for that level 3 as well. And once he does, obviously the fight is going to be immediately over. That's kind of like a big delete button there. So he triggered the reverb before he uses the level 3 just to get that extra attack bonus for the special 3. And yeah, we're probably going to see quite a lot of damage here on that Modok, taking away for like 16k. Easy win. And that's one dead Modok. Right, now we have 6.3 Mixmaster with Precision Fire shifting immunity. So obviously Mixmaster, again, yet another annoying, evading kind of lane and path. And this is, again, unsynergized Killmonger for most part. And only thing that you need to be wary of is initially getting your opponent to the first level 1. That's kind of like the only important thing that you do want to be conscious of. And now, when opponent has had a bar of power, that's going to be pretty much it. That's going to be pretty much it. Immediately dash in after that, and from this point forward, you will never again have to worry about Mixmaster in this fight, and whether he is bleed immune or he isn't, it doesn't even matter all that much. All of a sudden, you just want to dash in there and do as much damage as you can. Simple. Now he's going to go for level 2 again. Now, unfortunately, he did not get to punish this one. It's not easy to punish the level 2 from Venom the Duck at all times. And he needs to bait out the level 1, dash in after that, get his True Strike back. And from this point, he's going to be safe to carry on, absolutely nuking down that Venom the Duck. Now, he does trigger the regen. This shouldn't be the biggest deal. He goes for level 2. Venom the Duck is at 30 some percent. Now he dexes very well those level 2s as well. And indestructible charge for the win after a level 2. That's why it's quite important to have them. They can definitely come very much in handy. And it just goes back to the thing that I said, that Killmonger is one of those champions that you can mess up, and it's a very few fights where, you know, that first and that one mistake that you do make is going to be, you know, the lethal one. Typically, you do have the privilege or the comfort of knowing that even if you mess up in Act 7 with Killmonger, it's not going to be the end of the world. So, very good fight there. Let's move on to the next one against 6.34 Hyperion. Now, Killmonger against Hyperion, and this is that super annoying Hyperion that everybody seems to love to include because he was dubbed as the evil Hyperion or something like that. And obviously, Killmonger's way of dealing with this Hyperion is going to be different from virtually any other champion that you see. And on the bright side, it doesn't really require any synergies for you to be able to do. Only thing it does require is for you to drop a level 2 before Hyperion reaches his first level 3. If you can get to a level 2, you're safe. Because now Hyperion can go for his level 3, and your indestructible charge is going to absorb all the damage. I remember doing this a lot in Variant 1, where there was also a very power gainy Hyperion that was very hard to deal with. And since you could only use skill champions and mutant champions, there weren't too many good power control options at the time. And effectively, the best way to deal with that Hyperion was to use either Killmonger, either Iceman, or Gwenpool, if she was awakened, and just eat all of the level 3s to the face and, you know, survive them, then carry on fighting. And that is pretty much the case how Killmonger deals with this fight. Just goes in, does what he has to do, lets that Hyperion get to his 3 bars of power. The only important thing is that he doesn't eat a combo just before that level 3, because obviously then indestructible charges would get used up, and that's not something you ideally want. But yeah, why not? He doesn't even bother trying to bait out all of those. He doesn't even bother trying to bait out all of those special attacks. He's just flat out pushing Hyperion to 3 bars of power, taking that special 3 to the face, and moving on to the next one. Moving on to the next one. Ooh, we do have a level 2, so that means he will be able to get his True Strike. Actually, this is quite cool, so he triggers Reverb on purpose as well. Wonderful. Now he throws level 2 with, you know, increased damage output, but thanks to those charges that Hyperion gets, those are also, I believe, increase his like physical resistance and definitely make Hyperion tankier in general. But still, not that it matters too much. You can eat those level 3s all day. I didn't even count how many level 3s he has survived, but I think it kind of proves the point very well. And, you know, unironically, that also makes Killmonger a very good option for all or nothing nodes. You know, depending against who you go up against. 631 Mesmerize. Okay, so Mesmerize path obviously can be quite annoying, because if they do evade, you get stunned, and then you typically get wrecked. Mostly against Miles Morales, you also need to be wary about using special attacks, because if you do, they're going to have a chance to miss, and True Strike doesn't really do anything against miss mechanic. But, obviously this is just going to be... Oh, well, no. He does go for the level 1. He does like to take a bit of a risk there, but it's fine. That combo is going to expire in a second. Now Miles uses the level 1, and as soon as you punish it, you have True Strike active, and Mesmerize be damned. Now that is risky, however, but obviously that risk is again significantly mitigated due to the fact that you have indestructible charges, and even if you do miss and the opponent does punish it, you know, still probably gonna be fine. The only thing that I wish kind of Killmonger could get up to 5 of those indestructible charges, because that would be ability to eat a full combo rather than 4 hits out of 5 in combo, but you know, I can kind of see why did they do that. Now we have rank 4 Killmonger against 631 Do You Bleed Medusa fight. So this fight obviously has been fairly recent. It reinvigorated trauma for a lot of players, and it is a nasty fight. No matter what I say, it is a nasty fight. The gameplay seemed to lag there a bit. Might be something to do with my PC. It didn't seem to be working too great this morning. But nonetheless, let's just move on. Obviously, True Strike completely bypasses auto block, so you do not need to worry about Medusa. You do not need to worry about Medusa's auto block or how many fury she has or any of that stuff. Only thing that you do need to worry about is putting up enough bleeds on Medusa, and then eventually dropping that big level 3 to nuke her down completely. So he is sitting at 17 bleeds here, and he's likely going to want to build it up all the way to, well, let's see. There's 27 bleeds, wonderful. Medusa is back to full, but it's 29 bleeds, 33 bleeds, 36 bleeds. So basically just, you know, hit Medusa and be happy and done with. Okay, now we should be close to the end here. See, so we have 49 bleeds. Medusa is still fully healthy. He does want to trigger his reverb, but before that, ideally he wants to bait out at level 2. It's gonna be fine, right? Come on, Medusa, use that level 2. It's always annoying when AI refuses to throw special 2, but with Medusa it's also especially annoying. So he takes a hit on a block on purpose, triggers bleed, and let's see what's gonna be happening here. Let's see what's going to be happening here then. Shall we? Level 3 is active. And that's 44k bleed damage. And that's one deadish Medusa there. Very easy. Obviously it does take a while, depending whether you bring a specific synergy. Because that again was unsynergized Killmonger. There is a synergy that significantly increases the speed that he places bleeds an opponent with. And that, you know, obviously makes it easier to get to those 50 bleeds for the big level 3. Now, here we have a fight against Modok, which obviously we all know what's the main problem with the Modok. And it's going to be a very easy solution here for him, because he's just going to go for level 2 indestructible charges. And at this point, if he has to eat a special attack, he can. Not too much to worry about. Bait out that level 2, wonderful. Probably gonna go for level 1s here. Trigger that reverb. Shoots level 1 to avoid the special delivery damage, or however the node is called. Now, unfortunately, at this point, he does not have any indestructible charges active anymore. Triggers Spite as well to make it all more fun. Modok is refusing to throw that level 2, so this is a fairly dicey situation, where he does need to make sure that he gets to 2 bars of power before Modok. Now, this was a risky moment. I was watching it come and dreading it, because obviously, had Modok used that level 3 before he could throw his level 2, he had no indestructible charges left over, and that would not have ended well. However, at this point, obviously, it's all fine. At this point, it's all fine. So he's throwing his level 1 here. And Modok's regen is absolutely massive, though. That has to be pointed out. The cool thing is that you can parry against Modok thanks to True Strike, and you can get openings that way as well. You do not need to worry about hitting or not hitting him while he's stunned. Now he here goes to trigger that reverb again for more damage output. Drops level 2 on Modok, and now Modok goes for a level 3 of his own. Again, there's going to be luckily for him though, and this is quite luckily indeed, he did not trigger regeneration there, because had he triggered that regen, it could have been painful. This is actually a very close fight as well, because of the mistake that he made initially. Obviously, all the recall and chip damage has added up to the point where he's at 4% health now. So we do have a very, very tight finish, but he does finish the fight effectively. That's my strategy. Fighting this fight as well, by the way. Just ignore that do not go gentle node, and then get opponent down to 1% or like 1 HP, and then go in and finish it off, like, you know, with a single hit with the next one. This is going to be obviously interesting. This was one of the original Icarus cheeses. I think a lot of people have forgotten about this cheese fight. But the thing with Killmonger is he has a synergy with Void, where he has a chance to shrug off debuffs. And if a lot of and also regen, and that basically counters the degens from Icarus. And thanks to that, not only he gains a ton of power, because every time debuff is applied to Killmonger, he gains power, but also he kind of just ends up regening consistently. So Killmonger with Void synergy, and I do need to emphasize the need for Void synergy, is arguably one of the best options for Icarus lanes, because you get massive damage boost, which is, you know, obviously always appreciated. You do get massive power gain, which lets you spam your special attacks and gives you indestructible charges, everything else. And and you get a lot of healing as well. It is slightly RNG based, but typically it kind of averages out fine, and we can definitely see that he's not struggling with his health too much, and it's a fairly safe kind of like cheesy way to do these fights. And there's going to be another Medusa fight, obviously, and it's not going to last long. You basically get to throw your level 2 virtually almost, you know, after 2 combos, if that. 2 combos, if that. So he goes in for, again here. That's it. Level 2 is ready. 34k, few non-crits, and 123k to finish it off. It's a beautiful 123k crit there. And that is going to be it. That is all that I have to show for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button. And I will be back later today with some more videos. So catch you later then. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about